Hey everyone, and welcome back to my walkthrough of Elden Ring. Today we're going to clear out these Gatefront ruins, we're going to meet some very important characters, and collect some highly useful items for our playthrough. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So at the end of the last episode, we rested here, or actually we didn't rest, we just touched the Site of Grace to activate it. So now we're going to try to clear out some of these runes. So the first thing that we want to do is crouch, and we're going to sneak up behind this guy here with the shield. And we should be able to kill him with just one hit, one critical hit. Perfect. And we do want to be very careful of this guy patrolling back and forth. I'm not sure if you can quite see it from here, but he does have a trumpet. If he spots us, he's going to blow that trumpet, and then we're going to have the entire camp swarming us. So we want to try to avoid him, avoid his line of sight, and let him go back. Alright, and then we'll jump up here, open this chest, and pick up, I did that too quickly, the Lord Sworn's Great Sword. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick. So the Lord Sworn's Great Sword. And if you look in the middle, underneath the attributes required, it does say we need 16 strength and we need 10 dexterity. So we don't have the strength requirements to wield this in one hand. However, if you remember from the Cave of Knowledge, if we two-hand this weapon, I know that I used the term dual wield, and that was not correct, but if we two-hand this sword, it will effectively double our strength. So our strength, or I'm sorry, 50% increase of our strength. So our strength would go up to 12, which still isn't enough to do this one. So keep that in mind if you're playing as a character that uses a strength build, or if you have the stat requirement to use it, then by all means go for it. It's definitely going to be stronger than what we're using now. So we're going to go ahead, and we're not going to kill this guy yet, because if we do, the one sitting over at that little bonfire may see us. But what we want to do is sneak over here, and we want to pick up this item right here in front of that steel. And if you remember reading the item description and the map screen, that's where we can find those map fragments. So let's go ahead and sneak up on this guy, do the backstab, and then we'll take a look at the item that we just picked up, which was the map of Limgrave. And then we'll take a look at the map screen. So first of all, the Lord Sworn's Great Sword. If we go in here, we can read the item description. A well-crafted straight sword with an illustrious design, wielded by regulars of a lord's army. Though blackened and damaged by years of use, it appears to have otherwise been kept in a serviceable condition, despite the soldiers having long since lost their minds. And this one has the skill Stamp Upward Cut. Brace the armament and step into a low stance that prevents recoil from most enemy attacks. Follow up with a strong attack for an upward strike. And then we have the map of Limgrave West. The Demesne of Limgrave, far south of the Erd Tree, is bordered to the northwest by the cliffs of Stormvale, and under its ever-clouded skies roll the great steppes of the Pale Lands. So let's go ahead and take a look at our map. New map has been found, and so you can see where we've been. This was where we started in the Stranded Graveyard, and we came out through to the first step, which is where we met White Mask Vare, and then we came up here to the Church of Ella, and this is the path right here where that big horse knight is riding. Then we came through this path and then around to the Gatefront ruins. And then we can zoom out and you can see just how big this area is. And this is still just a very small portion of the map. So we're working our way up here towards Stormvale Castle ultimately. But again, there's still a lot to do. Alright, so we've got another soldier up here. And this guy's far enough away from the others that you can come up and just attack him if you want. Nothing really is going to happen. And we got Godric's Soldier's Helm, so that's what he is, a Godric soldier. And that one is a helm worn by soldiers loyal to Godric the Grafted, made from durable iron layered with a chainmail coif beneath. So they're loyal to the person that we've heard about that's up in Stormdale Castle. So if we take a look at our equipment and compare, this one's going to be a lot better physical against strike damage, slash damage, piercing damage, but not nearly as good against magic. It's also going to weigh a little bit more, but you can see on the right hand side it puts us up to 26.1 out of 46.6 equip load, which is still medium, which is fine, but it also makes us look a little bit dumb. And I know a lot of people that play these games, fashion is extremely important. So for the character I'm making, I'm just going to stick with the robes for right now. If we find something that is like insanely more powerful damage negation, then we'll probably go for that. So let's go ahead and backstab this guy. And we're going to pick up another new weapon. And this one can be very useful. I'm not sure if we'll end up using it. We'll have to look and see what the stats are. But this one is the flail. So let's take a quick look at that. And this one is a weapon consisting of a bludgeoning head attached to a handle by a chain. The iron ball is spiked and induces blood loss. Blows from this weapon cannot be parried. The charge attack whirls the iron ball around for increased force before striking. And then the skill on this one is the spinning chain. Spins the striking part of the flail at high speed to attack. Follow up with a normal or strong attack to link the momentum of this skill into a successive attack. So that's pretty cool. And it's a good weapon. I just realized that I didn't read these last time. The notes. So the Waypoint Ruins, this one tells us that someone lurks among the Waypoint Ruins on the roads through Limgrave. And the next one says, a flask of wondrous physic still remains in the Third Church of America, north of the Mistwood. Cross the highway bridge and follow the animal trail north. So these will be places that we'll find. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we read those item descriptions when we picked those up at the store from Kale. So let's take a look at our equipment real quick and see if we can use the flail, which we cannot because we don't have enough dexterity and we don't have enough strength. We can equip it though, we just won't be able to get as much of the damage from it as possible. So those are the attacks, just the regular. These are the heavy attacks and the charged heavy. It's pretty good. And then if we go two-handed, you can see the spinning chain. And if we hold down the left trigger, that's what he does, and you can actually move. So not a fantastic moveset, but this type of weapon, the fact that it does strike damage, which again you can see in the top middle underneath where it says flail, it says strike, and that's going to tell you the type of damage. So there are some enemies that are a lot more vulnerable to strike damage. So let's go ahead and put back that weapon and we'll switch to our magic, and let's go ahead and refill just so that we have some. And let's get the guy that has the trumpet. And there's also another knight. You can see him right here with the big shield and the spear. He is very tough. You can definitely try to fight him. I would recommend clearing out the camp before trying to fight against him, just because he is pretty tough. And I think that guy spotted me. All right, that was close. So, I mean, we can try taking this guy down. We'll see what kind of time we have. But let's wait for him to get past that steel where we picked up the map, just to make sure that we don't draw his attention. So there we go. We'll get him, and then we will go over and take care of the guy by that campfire. So kill him, quickly scoot over here to the bushes. All right, so we're safe there. And we'll go around and clear this side of the camp and work our way back to that knight. Alrighty, so there's going to be another one sitting there. He'll probably spot us once we kill him. We can lock onto him and we'll cast some magic. You can see even though he's blocking, the magic went right through his shield. Probably because that shield does not have high enough magic negation to block it completely. And we picked up another rune fragment from that body over there. And we've got another guy over here, another soldier. He is blocking this entrance, so we could have come down that path, but instead last time, remember, we went around to the site of grace. We'll take him down and come around this way to the last side of the camp. We'll take him down, and then we have a wolf. Take him down with our magic. Another thing that you can do if you don't have magic or like a ranged weapon, you can come into your equipment and you can put on an item that I did not pick up. So that's not going to be any good for us. We got his attention. Oh, come on. Oh, that was good. This guy's got a big hammer, and that one can hurt if he hits you, so be careful. So there was an item on that path up there called the kukri, which is like a kind of a curved looking knife that can be thrown. It's really good and powerful against these enemies. So if you don't have any other ranged attacks, that's definitely a good one that you can use. So let's sneak up on this guy. Go ahead and take him down. And pick up some bolts. And hide, and we'll quickly take a look at the bolts. And those are ammunition for crossbows, widespread common type of bolt. So nothing great. But it is a useful item if you're going to use a ranged crossbow. Alright, so a couple things that you can do here. We can take this guy down, but that could potentially draw the attention of that knight. So first of all, let's go ahead and sneak down these stairs. And we'll turn on our torch so we can see a little bit better. And then we'll come in here for a chest. And this is going to be a fantastic item to pick up early. So this one is the whetstone knife, and this is going to help us add skills. With a whetstone knife, you can use Ashes of War to grant your armaments new skills at sites of grace. An armament can only have one skill. Any skill it previously had will be removed. An armament's type determines what skills it can have. Some special armaments have unique skills and cannot be granted new ones. Adding affinities. With the whetstone knife, you can use Ashes of War to grant affinities to your armaments at sites of grace. This way you can alter an armament's attack affinity, boost attribute scaling, and more. An armament's type determines what affinities it can have. Some special armaments, like those with unique skills, cannot be granted new affinities. So the skills are obviously like this, Ash of War Storm Stomp, which is going to be a new special attack that you can do if you put that onto one of your weapons using the whetstone knife. So that gives you the ability to do that. The affinities are so things like if you want to add magic attack or magic damage to your weapon, or if you want to add lightning or fire, things like that, you can use those affinities to add that. So I am at about 15 minutes right now. You know, yeah, I don't have any magic, so I might as well just put on the shield. We're going to backstab this guy, and then, yeah, we're going to risk it. Let's see. All right, so he didn't see us. We can definitely fight him. Here's another new crafting item. The smoldering butterfly. Let's take a look at that while this other one comes back. So the smoldering butterfly is a crafting item found near wildfires and elsewhere. An eternally burning butterfly found near wildfires and elsewhere serves as the kindling for a number of items. So that's going to help us with crafting a lot of different fire-based things. All right, we're going to risk it. We're going to sneak up behind him. We're going to do a critical attack. And then we'll do a charged heavy. And then we're going to dodge out of the way. Like I said, this guy is tough. So I would recommend keeping your shield up. And try to do like dodge counters. He can do dodge or guard counters, not dodge counters. Let's not risk it, and we'll heal. Heal again. Like I said, this guy is no joke. That was good. That was lucky. He's my last heal. So if I can get one more good hit on him, we'll be able to take him down. There we go. Alright, so that was 260 runes that we got from him. He didn't drop anything, but I have never noticed the little runes on the tiles here. That is so cool. Alright, so we have 100% cleared out this camp. Again, if you don't feel like you're confident enough to defeat that guy, don't do it. Oh, I forgot to get him too. Yeah. Guard counter. And then you can see that red and blue mist that went around me, and you can see my flasks have completely filled. So I could continue going and fighting if I wanted to, but I am ready to come over here to the site of grace, and I'm going to rest. But I'm going to pause for just a moment, so it may look like I've cut something out of the recording. So, okay, so sorry about that cut there. All right, so let's go ahead and actually rest at the site of grace, and this should trigger a cutscene.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the two fingers, offering guidance and aid to the tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd tree.
All right, so at this point you can either accept or refuse the offer that she's making. I know that you can refuse. I've never tried it. I'm sure that there's obviously different dialogue if you do. But yes, you can go through the game without her help, basically. She's offering to be our Finger Maiden, which is going to give us the ability to turn our runes into strength, which in gamer terms means we'll be able to level up and increase our stats. So let's go ahead and accept.
Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring.
All right, and we get the Spectral Steed Whistle.
Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
All right, so we've learned that her name is Melina, and now we can summon a spectral steed named Torrent. So if you remember from one of the opening cutscenes, when we woke up in the secluded graveyard, I think was what it was called, there was the spectral steed and also presumably Melina. So that kind of gives us some more information. So at this point now we can still pass time, which as you can see, it is now nighttime when we are meeting her. And we can now level up.
Shall I turn your runes to strength? Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
All right, the level up menu. With the level up menu, you can spend runes to increase your attributes. With each attribute increase, your level rises by 1. As your level rises, so does the amount of runes required for your next attribute increase. All right, so you can see top left, we are level 6, and we have spent 0 points or 0 runes, so we are still going to stay level 6. If I push to the right, here on Vigor, where you can see the arrows are, and increase that from 9 to 10, I go from level 6 to level 7, and then I go from 1604 to 847 runes. So currently I can do 2 level ups. So I can increase Vigor and Mind, Endurance. So I'm going to push this menu button. I think that is what that one is called, with the 2 little boxes. And then I'm going to do Explanation. So that will show us a description of each of the stats. So we'll do that super quick. So Vigor is going to govern HP. Mind is going to determine how much FP we have. Endurance is stamina. Strength is the ability used or the attribute for wielding heavy armaments. Dexterity is required to wield advanced armaments. Also boost attack power of dexterity scaling armaments. And we'll get into a lot more detail of this, especially when I plan on doing what I'm probably going to call in episode 0, which will just go through menus and things like that. So I'm just going to do this super quick. Intelligence is the glintstone sorceries, which is what we're using. Faith is the incantations, which is a different type of magic. And then also there is arcane, which it helps with discovery. So luck skill, kind of finding items, enemies dropping items, things like that. So that's the level up menu. And then we also have access to the Ashes of War. So this is where you can use Ashes of War to grant skills and affinities to your armaments at sites of grace. I think I already read that, so let's go ahead and move on. So let's say we want to add something to the short sword. So I've selected it. I can equip Storm Stomp as my new ability. Part of the issue with that is that my physical attack power on the weapon is going to go from 102, which you can see in the middle, down to 87. So it is going to change the scaling. It's going to change the strength of the weapon. So I'm not going to use this one right now. We're going to be getting so many throughout the game, and we will kind of mess around with those a little bit. So, all right. So horseback riding. Use the spectral steed whistle to summon and ride your spectral steed. If your spectral steed dies, you can summon it again, but it will cost 1 flask of crimson tears to do so. You can dismount by using the whistle again or by pressing down on the left stick. So what I like to do is this. I like to use the pouch on the right hand side of the screen. You can equip up to 6 items to your pouches. 4 of those can be used without opening the main menu. So when you hold down the Y button, then you can equip by using the up, right, down, or left on your D-pad. So I'm going to go ahead and go through that, and then over here where it says Memory of Grace, I'm going to hit X to remove, and then I'm going to hit Y to switch, and that puts me into my inventory screen. So I'm going to choose the Spectral Steed Whistle. So this is going to be on holding Y and pressing up. So I can summon and ride Torrent, the Spectral Steed. A delicate goldwork ring can be used as a finger whistle. Sound the whistle to summon and ride Torrent, the spectral steed. Dismounts the steed when used while on horseback. Upon his death, the spectral steed can be summoned again, but doing so drains the flask of crimson tears. So let's go ahead and select that, and then I'm going to hold down the Y button, and you can see that my pouch items come up on the left. So I didn't want to do that two-handing. Alright, so then if I press Y and up, whistles, and now I am riding Torrent. So same forward, side, back, the movement is basically the same. You can also hit B while you're on him, and you can jump. Pressing B will make him run faster, and you can still pick up items on the ground as well. Holding down B, I don't think that it makes him go any faster or continue running fast. But if you hit B once, he'll kind of speed up for a little bit. So that is Torrent. Torrent is awesome. He is going to be so useful throughout the game. So the next thing that we're going to do, there's another really important NPC that we want to meet. But in order to trigger her cutscene, we need to fast travel. So using the map, we're going to fast travel back to the Church of Ella. But I'm not going to do that yet. That's going to be what we do to start the next episode. We'll meet this other NPC, and then we are going to buy a few more items from Kale if there's anything left that we need to get, and then we will move on to clearing out our first cave. So for now, I'm going to say thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode.